All right, Maddie, quick question. Who made Caligula emperor?
Rome? The Senate? The people? The army?
Getting closer.
All right, just tell me who.
One guy.
One guy.
Yep.
That feels like a bad system if you ask me.
You know it was.
Who is it?
A man named Macro.
Never heard of him.
Exactly. He made Caligula emperor, and then Caligula did the most Caligula thing ever. He killed him.
Wait, you know what this means, right?
What?
Quick hits?
Quick hits. So when people talk about the rise of Caligula, they usually focus on Caligula, the young heir, the popular successor, the guy who somehow turns into, well, Caligula. But they skip the man who actually made it happen, and that man is Naevius Sutorius Macro. Macro is the Praetorian prefect under Tiberius, which means he controls the Praetorian Guard. And by this point in Roman history, that's not just security, that's power. Because if you control the guard, you don't just protect the emperor, you influence who the emperor is. Now, Macro gets his job after the fall of Sejanus, which should already tell you something. The last guy in this position got too powerful and was executed. So naturally, Rome replaces him with another guy who is about to get too powerful. By the time Tiberius is old and dying, the succession is unclear. There are multiple possible heirs. But Macro backs Caligula, young, popular, manageable. Or at least, that's the idea. Now this is where the story gets messy, because when Tiberius finally dies in 37 AD, some sources suggest he didn't die cleanly. There are accounts that say he briefly recovered, started speaking again. This is a problem, because if the emperor isn't dead, the transition isn't happening. And according to those same sources, Macro may have stepped in and, help things along. Finish the job. Do we know for sure? No. But the rumor sticks, because it's Rome, and it fits. What we do know is this. After Tiberius is gone, Macro moves fast. He secures the Praetorian Guard, he backs Caligula, he ensures a transition. No chaos, no civil war, just a smooth handoff, which is incredibly rare in Rome when there are multiple rivals for the throne. And for just one moment, Macro is the most powerful man in the empire. He made the emperor, he controls the guard, he sits right next to the power. And that's the problem, because in Rome, the man who makes the emperor is usually the next threat the emperor has to deal with. Caligula doesn't stay young and manageable for long. Once he's secure, Macro becomes unnecessary. Worse than that, he becomes dangerous. Too powerful, too connected, too aware of how the transition actually happened. So Caligula removes him. Macro is forced to commit suicide, possibly along with his wife. And just like that, the man who helped create the emperor is dead. And honestly, this is one of the most Roman stories you'll ever hear. Because Macro didn't fail, he succeeded. He did exactly what he set out to do. He put his man on the throne. And in Rome, that's usually the moment that your time runs out.